Hey, welcome back, seventh graders, from your spring break. I hope you had a good, relaxing break. I know it was hard because you couldn't do a lot, but hopefully you at least got to have a little break from school, and now we'll go back to it. So we're going to continue on our chapter 10 and continue on with reviewing polygons and their areas. And today is a nice lesson because since last time you had a quiz on these areas of certain figures, we're going to review them again, but look at them a little bit differently today. So hopefully you remember what the area of a rectangle is. The area of a rectangle is equal to the base times height, or length. You know, people say length times width, but you can say base times height. It's the same thing. And in this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the figures. You're going to have to remember if it's a rectangle, triangle, trapezoid, and then we're actually going to give you the areas, and you have to find the missing dimensions. So you're going to have to find the base or the height because they already give you the area of that figure. So in this case, the area is going to be 594. Okay, and then I'm also going to give you the base is 27. So the base is going to be 27, and I want you to find the height. So this is really the variety you're getting today. So 594 is the area, 27 is the base, and you're trying to find the height. So how do I find h if I'm dealing with an equation? H is being multiplied by 27. So in this case, I have to divide both sides by 27. And that'll get me what h is. So I'm going to work that out over here. So I'm going to do 594 divided by 27. Okay? This one's actually a nice problem. You will get some decimal answers, but please round your answers to the nearest tenth. Okay? So if you ask me on the Google Classroom, what do we round to, Mr. A? It's because you didn't hear me say round it to the nearest tenth. Okay? So make sure you do that. 27 goes into 59 twice. That's going to be 54. And then subtract to get 54 again. 27 goes into 54 twice. So the height of this figure is going to be 22. So that's how we work that one out. So again, they gave you the area, they gave you the base, you have to find the height. And basically on these problems, they're going to give you the area, and you're going to have to find either the base or the height or base of 1 or base of 2. So make sure you're aware of that. Okay, let's look at our second problem. So this one's a nice one again because it has a an even answer, so no decimal point. So now let's look at the area of a triangle. So I'll leave the area of a rectangle up there, but the area of a triangle is, hopefully you remember, 1/2 base times height. You see how these two are related? So a triangle is half a rectangle, or two triangles put together can make a rectangle. And here we have 1/2 base times height. And then this problem, the area is going to be 157.5, and the base is going to be 21. So the base will be 21, and I don't know the height. Okay? So there are a couple ways to work this out. Some of you are already thinking them through, which is really awesome. But again, I'm trying to find what h in this problem is. You can also find what b is sometimes, so be aware of that. But if I'm trying to find h, there are a couple things I can do. I can multiply these two together and then divide 157.5 by 10.5, which is what that's going to come out to. Or you can multiply both sides by 2. That'll make this an even number. That'll get rid of the fraction, and then I divide by 21. So there are multiple ways to work this out. Not the only way I'm going to do it, but most of you are going to do what's 1/2 times 21. And you're like, well, how do I do 1/2 times 21? You can make it a fraction problem, or 21 times 1/2 is the same thing as 21 divided by 2. So 21 divided by 2, I'll do that work real quick. Divided by 2, so 10.5. 10.5 is what I get there. So I'm going to leave 10.5. So I have 10.5 h equals 157.5. Okay? So I have 10.5 times h. I'm going to divide both sides by 10.5. And that's going to give me my answer when I work it out. So I'm going to divide these out. That gets me h. And then I'm actually going to work out 157. See where I have it. I hope you can see that. 157.5 divided by 10.5. Okay, when you're dividing decimals, it's okay to have a decimal in the dividend, but this divisor cannot have that decimal point. So I move it once there, but then I have to move it there. All right, 105 goes into 1, and I'll actually make this super clear. 105 goes into 157 once, 105. Then I'll subtract 2, 5, bring down that. Okay, and then here, 105 goes into 525. Thankfully, exactly 5 times. 5 times 105 is 525. So I get 15 in this answer right here for the height. So the height of that triangle is 15. If the area is 157.5 and the base is 21, then the height has to be 15. Okay, so that's my answer for that problem. And the last one I'm going to do with you is going to be a trapezoid. So the area of a trapezoid. And this one's more complex, but it's related to the first two. So area of a trapezoid, 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So I hope you, again, these were on your quiz a couple weeks ago. So we still had to remember those because we had to find missing parts. Okay, on this one, again, they're going to give you figures. I'm just actually giving you the dimensions as they go. The trapezoid is 17.15. The area is 17.15. And 1/2 is still there. So notice 1/2 is going to be there. They don't give me the first base, but they give me the second base is 7.7. So b sub 1 plus 7.7. And then the height is going to be 3.5. The height is going to be, so I'll put times 3.5. All right, so I'll make sure I get all my numbers here. Okay, and I want to, again, multiple ways to work this one out. This one's the hardest one because b sub 1 is in the parentheses. Technically what I would do is well, what do you guys see right here? You kind of see the distributive property going here, but you also have a multiplication right here. What I would do, so this is just me, I would do the 1/2 times the 3.5 first. So 1/2 times 3.5, and you're like, wait, how do you do that? 3.5 times 1/2 is the same thing as 3.5 divided by 2. So I'll do that over here. I think you can see it. 3.5 divided by 2. 1, remainder 1, 7, 5. 175. 1.75. So I'm going to keep that number there. 1.75. So I have 17.15 equals 1.75 times b sub 1 plus 7.7. Okay, so what do you think I do with these? I'm probably going to use that. Distributive property. So what's 1.75 times b sub 1? And I'll put that over here now, right underneath this square. 1.75 times b sub 1. So I just did these two multiplied together. Okay, and then I had to do 1.75. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's make this easier, guys. Because then we're going to have to divide and multiply decimals multiple times. Okay, I'm trying to find b sub 1, right? It's being added with 7.7 and multiplied by 1.75. So I'm going to undo what's happening. I'm going to divide both sides by 1.75 because that's going to get rid of this. So if I divide this side by 1.75, then you can see that these will get canceled out. So 17.15 divided by 1.75. That's what I'm going to do. You got to move it twice here, twice there, making it clear. And again, we'll round at the end, so we won't have to get a complete final answer there. 1.75 or 175 doesn't go into 171, but it goes into 1,715. I'm guessing 9 times. So let's see, 175 times 9, 45, 63, 67, 15, 75, and I don't think it's going to go anymore. So that's 9 times. We said that's 1575. Okay, and so I'll erase this part so it won't get in our way. So that's 0, borrow. Okay, 140, which is good because I don't want to go beyond. All right, 175 goes into 1400. So it doesn't go 9 times, maybe 8 times. So I'll do 175 times 8, 40, 56, 60, 40. Oh, look at that, perfectly. 9.8 is that part. So I have right here. All right. I get 9.8 equals b sub 1 plus 7.7. So almost done with this problem. But then how do I get rid of that 7.7? If they're being added together, I have to subtract. So my last step is to subtract 7.7 from both sides. And that gets me 2.1 equals b sub 1. 2.1 equals b sub 1. I don't know if you can even see that, but that's 9.8 minus 7.7 is 2.1. So again, that would be your hardest problem. And you have 2 of those with the trapezoid, 2 of them with the parallelogram, and 2 with the triangle. Again, parallelogram is base times height. Triangle is 1/2 base times height. And then trapezoid is 1/2 base of 1 plus base of 2 times height. Okay, the homework tonight that you're going to have is only 6 problems, and 1 of them is done for you. I would suggest, well, you will work out the first one, but they give you the answer, so you should be able to get it. Again, please round your answers to the nearest 10th. So you're going to have to do numbers 1 through 6 all, and that's going to be found on page 311. 311. That's your homework for today. If you have trouble doing that, please send me some messages on Google Classroom. I'll help you out. Again, round your answers to the nearest 10th if necessary. And just looking at the answers, there may be three or 4 of them that need rounding, so you don't have to work them all the way out, but make sure that you round to the nearest 10th. All right, guys, I hope you have a good day. I'll try to have your quizzes graded completely by the end of today. So that's what I'll be working on, and I'll see you later. Bye.